go to Instagram, hashtag Thomas Rocket Car. Alright, here we go. We're getting some work done now. What I want to do is replace this rocker panel first. I got to cut the bottom of the quarter off here, it's rotted anyways. And basically what I need to do to tie the rear suspension in is have the rockers be good on both sides. And then I got to build a new rear crossmember underneath the car where the front of the independent rear suspension hooks in, because everything is super soft here. So I can't just cut the rocker out of the car, it'll fold it up. This car is pretty stout. The way they build it's like a ladder all the way through the floor. So it'd probably be okay, but I don't dare cut the rocker out without having the car supported. So what I'm doing is taking this angle iron, or not angle iron. What I'm doing is taking this rebar I got some number 6 and number 8 bar, and I'm building an X in the door jambs to hold this thing in place. I've welded 2 pieces up where the into a corner here and across the span the bottom. And now I'm going to exit here across the other side of this piece of rebar, and then I'll have an X in the doorway with a piece across the bottom to support the rocker. That should keep this thing stiff. I'm going to go ahead and get this X member in here, tie everything together. Got this tied in good here now. I'm going to go ahead and it's kind of tight in here. I can't really get the camera over there, but I'm going to go ahead and X the other side, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. There we go. Got both sides X'd up real nice. I'm going to go ahead and do a couple supports this way to keep the quarters from flopping in and out. And then I'll go ahead and I'll remove this piece of upholstery back here, and I can start cutting on the rocker over there. So I'm going to do now is draw a line and cut this lower quarter off. This has been repaired sometime. This has got lead in it. I'm going to saw this off to here, and then I can cut this rocker out. I can cut all the braces on the floor. I've got 2x3 rectangular tubing I'm going to make this bottom out of, and I'm going to make this step out of 1-inch square tubing, and then there's a sill plate that covers it all. So go ahead and saw all this off and get this rocker out of here and make a new one. I got the interior panel taken out of here. I did a little bit of cutting down the bolts, and all this this jute is horsehair, and it did a little bit of burn in here, so now it smells like burned animal horsehair in here. Like 50 horses are on fire, so it's not a pretty smell, but I'm ready to go ahead and hack this off. So move all this junk out the way. Cut it here, cut it here, cut it. Ay, ay, ay. Nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. When the guy built this car, Charlie Thomas, he framed all this perimeter out of 1/2-inch square stock, all bent around the tail pan, all bent around the fenders and everything. And then the rocker here is 2 pieces. It's some kind of channel. Then I had a piece of angle iron over the top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and saw all this out. This is part of the inner wheel well. Just saw all this out and replace it with a box tubing. I think I told you that before, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. Alright, what I did here, I made these little feet down to the rocker panel with a piece of angle to mark the edge of the rocker here and then in the front. So it'll help me align since I don't have this door. It'll keep my alignment good. And I want to ground the edge of the quarter where we're going to tie into that, but this is pretty much disconnected here except for a few small pieces. I also braced the floor of the car, so I cut all these braces loose. The floor can the floor can't move within the car, so I'm going to go ahead with the Sawzall and zing all these pieces in. Aha! Got it! Rusty junk! Ay, ay, ay. Woo! Mercy sakes. Mercy sakes, mercy sakes. Got this 1x3 tubing. That's going to become the new rocker here. It's going to work out good. Let me go ahead and trim this up, do a bunch of trimming and fitting, and then I'll come back to you in a minute. Alright, so I got my new rocker made out of this tubing here. Up here in the front, I'm working on the door hinge. You can see on the original rocker, there was a pin, and then there is bar stock that was the lower door hinge, and it opened out through a pocket. And there was a plate set in on here, so I've got to make a new one of these to the door. But how I solved that is I got a plate welded on that's going to be tacked on down here, and then a pocket to tie into the structure, so there'll be a 5/16 bolt through the lower hinge now instead of a pin. But it'll still work the same way. So got that going. I got my feet here where my rocker's located good. This will pull out here in the back nice. And tack down. Look at that. That's solid already. The next piece will be a piece of 1-inch tubing up on top of here to duplicate the step. I'll measure back here and then I'll put this tubing on, and that comes back in here and ties into this wheel well or the rocker panel and cover all this up. This gets the stainless steel on here. Looking good! There, this thing's nice and stiff now. That's what she said. Huh? Ah! I'm not cross bracing. Damn it.